Hi there, it's Craig here. Well guys, here I have the finished product of the Scottish 80 partial extract kit that J.O. Malone sent me. I kegged it a while ago, it's been sitting, I've chilled it down, it's nice and cold, and we're going to taste this right now. It was a lot of fun to make. As you saw the video I did on it, it was for me first for doing a partial extract kit. And I think there's going to be a lot more of that going on in this house, absolutely for sure. Let's give this a sniff. I smell a bit of a caramely kind of aroma to this. Almost, I can smell a little bit of chocolate, which makes sense because there was some chocolate grains in there. Not a lot of aroma. It's a bitter, more of a bitter beer. Let's give it a taste. Now look it, this is my first. I tasted it when I put it in the keg before I carbonated, and that was it. I didn't want to spoil the reaction I was going to get from doing it like this. This is the first beer I've ever tasted with fresh grains steeped, right here in the house. Okay, let's do it. Wow. It's good. It's really good. I can definitely taste the fresh maltiness it has a real malty flavor. It's more of a bitter style beer, which makes sense because the hopping I did, the hops schedule was all the hops first right at the beginning of the boil and nothing after that. So definitely a bitter note there, and sort of a toastiness, toasty flavor. Definitely smooth and velvety. Now the head retention, you know what? I've got this down way too cold. I should have. This beer I think should be at a little higher temperature, maybe 10 Celsius or something like that, or not really cold like it is. And it's also the carbonation. The carbonation is perfect. It's not really rough going down. It's very smooth carbonation. For a darker beer, I think that's what you want. As far as the color goes, never didn't plan on this, but we'll move one of my lights over here and see if we can get that. Now that's looking a little, there we go, that's a little more accurate there. That's a pretty good representation of what I'm seeing. It's a real orange color. And the light's probably a little bright for the camera to register the color properly, but you can sort of see that. So just put that back over there. So altogether, I'm really happy with this. If I could get this, I mean, the cost of getting this here over the border, it was a $22 beer kit. And it costs, I don't know, $20 or $30 for J.O. Malone 3113 to ship this to me, and then I had to pay $20 at my door when it came. So, we can't get this. I mean, it's hard to get this here from the States. So I'm gonna have to try and put some stuff together to try and with the resources I have here to try and get a similar product, because this is amazing. Now, when I got this box, we did not have in my area access to a grains selection. I do now, have access to some of them. One of the stores is quite a ways from me. I'd have to get a drive there. The other store I have access to, which is my homebrew supplier I always deal with, he has some grains there in stock, and I'm going to be using those to make some more partial extract brews, and we'll see what kind of recipes we can emulate with what we've got over there. But this is a treat. And I want to thank him so much for sending me this. He's a great, a great guy. I've watched his videos. I hope he makes more videos, because now he's going to get more hits, I hope. I want you guys to go over and check out his channel, subscribe to him. If I have, and I'm looking forward to more of his videos as well. This is great. It's great. And I'll tell you why it's for me such a treat. Because it's reminiscent of one of my favorite beers. I like all the St. Peter's style beers. A couple in particular I like more than others, but they're all really good. And this it reminds me of that sort of style of beer. Now, it's a Scottish beer. And if I had gone to the liquor store and bought a beer that tastes like this, see what I do is I buy the beers where my wife will pick me some up, because she has a little more, she can make the decisions easier than I can. She just picks out the pretty bottles. She doesn't know much about beer, so she's a little more able to just pick, whereas I stand there for half an hour going, I don't know. So she brings them home for me, or if I bring them home, usually what happens is I drink drink one of those, and if I like the beer, I keep the bottle. That way I can put it on my shelf and say this is one of the beers I like. If I don't like the beer, I just throw the bottle away, or I'll put it somewhere else so that I know not to buy that one again. This goes in the like category. A bottle of this bought from the liquor store would make it onto my shelf. Absolutely. It's a nice, warm, heavy, not heavy, but it's got that nice malty flavor, that nice sort of toasted bready kind of note to it. Yet it's easily drinkable. It's a good session beer, and I can see myself going through this pretty darn fast, and I got to keep some people away from it, because I know that if I let some of my friends taste this, they're going to be hanging around. So it's really nice beer. This is from morebeer.com. You can look it up. It's the Scottish 80, a Scottish export 80, and I would recommend you try this if you live in the U.S. and you want to try a nice beer. Great kit to do. Cheers! I really do like this a lot. It's great beer. Oh, It almost tastes like a cookie, like a biscuit. Like, you know what I mean? The head wasn't huge, but it does have nice head retention there. It's got what I call a veneer head, which is all I ever wanted on a beer. I don't need another mustache. It's got some lacing. I mean, all around, you could probably fix the head a little bit if you like a bigger head on it. You could maybe increase the serving pressure. So I don't know. But as far as the carbonation goes, I think it's perfect, and I wouldn't change a thing. Somebody might. I know I'm going to get asked, so I may as well answer the question right now. How does it compare to a Cooper's kit? Okay, I'm going to get asked that question. How it compares to a Cooper's kit is this. I guess if you just took any type of malt extract, whatever you can get your hands on, would be a Cooper's, another brand, some fresh malt extract, in bulk, whatever, as long as it's fresh and good quality, and you do that with the fresh grains. Okay, that's the difference. This has the fresh grains steeped in it, and I think that's definitely where the difference is. So if you're an extract brewer, just brewing from canned malt extract or bulk malt extract, wherever you get your malt extract from, okay, and that's all you're doing, this is a way to step it up And again, if you watch the video of me making this and me making another batch of my own little recipe that I've put together, which I'm going to do shortly, you can step your extract brewing up. And the difference is that you do have that fresh, biscuit, cookie, toast, grains, malt flavor to it. And that's because you did it right here in your house. The grains were freshly crushed, and you smell the bag of grains. They smell so great. So that's what I would say the difference is that the simple brewing with a can of malt extract and dextrose or whatever is fine. But when you add in the fresh grains, that's where you're bumping it up. And your fresh hopping, that's where you're bumping it up. So that's what I would say the difference is that this has the fresh grains in it. I'm pretty sure if I'd taken the grains out of the recipe and just used the malt extract, the hops, and some dextrose to boost the alcohol, I probably would have ended up with what would be similar to just a plain extract beer, like a Muntons or a Cooper's or whatever. Adding the grains to it, that's what makes the difference. And you can do that with your current beer kits that you get. If you buy I don't know how many brands there are. There's there's Brew Canada, there's Black Rock, there's Cooper's, there's Muntons. You can get bulk malt extract. There's no date on that, so I hope the supplier will guarantee the freshness of it. Whatever it is that you buy, you can add the grains to it, and it's very easy to do, and that's what I've shown you how to do here. And I'm telling you right now, the difference is amazing. You will like this, and this is not going to last long. I'm going to be sitting out in my backyard drinking this stuff for the next few days, providing it doesn't rain. It's great stuff. So that's the difference. That's the level we've moved up to here. This is time to play. I mean, I'll never cover all of the experimentation that I want to do. I'll never have enough time in my life to do it. It's always going to be a frontier that I'm always going to be breaking new ground, experimenting. I'll get some good batches. I'll get some bad batches, hopefully more good batches than bad. But now that I've tasted fresh grains in a beer, I'm hooked. Okay? I'm hooked. Now that it's warming up a little bit, because I've been holding the glass, it's regaining some of what I think should be its true character. It's getting it's not so cold now, and now it's becoming a little more what I think it should be. I'm probably going to go over there and pour another glass. And so, look, my philosophy is if you like what you're brewing, then that's all that matters. So, if you're an extract brewer using, Cooper's products and you like that, that's what matters. That's what matters. I use that product and I like it. Whoops, sorry. And that's what matters. If you like your partial extract, if you like your all grain beer that you make, that's what matters. You know what? We don't need to be criticizing each other and bashing each other and all this. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again and again and again. Make beer the way you want to make beer. And if you're satisfied with it, then nobody has the right to complain. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's polish this baby. That's it. There you go. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the making of it. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's no end. There's no end in sight. Take care. I'm going to get another glass of this stuff.